Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So you may or may not have heard of a little movie that came out this weekend called Star Wars: The Last Jedi. You know, I'm sure it did okay at the box office. I of course went and saw it. My husband and I went and saw it this weekend, and you know, repping my shirt, my Star Wars shirt. But the reason that I'm talking about that in this video is because I have these. These are from Cargo Cosmetics. They're two eyeshadow palettes. This is the light side and dark side palette. It's actually, you know, for Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and they have this whole cute little collection that has these shadow palettes, and they had some compact mirrors. I can't remember if they had lip products or not, but this is what I chose to pick up, and so I figured I would just do two little looks for you, a light side look and a dark side look, and we can celebrate Star Wars back in the theater. So let me give you a look at what the palettes look like. So this is the light side palette. Very cute right there. And then you open it and these are the shades. So this is a very soft, neutral palette. I love the rosy tones. I like how it's got like kind of like the shimmer. I don't know if that's coming off, but it's like a little galaxy inside, and you do get a mirror. So this is the light side eyeshadow palette. It has 8 shadows in it. It even kind of gives you a little step-by-step of, you know, the best shades to put in your transition, on the outer corner, brow bone, that kind of stuff. So this is the dark side palette. And this is the inside of it. So it's not too dark, which I actually kind of like. I think that these colors can be built up nicely. I mean, you do have this really nice deep color here, but it's just more cool toned overall. So I don't want this video to be too terribly long, so let's just go ahead and jump into the looks. I'm going to start with the light side first. All right, I'm starting with a fluffy brush and just going into shade number 1 and just using this to make sure that my primer is set, so I'm mainly focusing it right in the transition. Next up is shade number 3. This is kind of a corally color, and I'm starting to run this through the crease and up on the brow bone a little bit as well. Now I'm going into shade number 7, same fluffy brush, and again I'm working this through the crease, but I'm staying a little bit lower down onto the lid itself. And I'm also starting to pack the color on the outer corner of the eye. Now into shade number 6, I'm using this to go over the top of it just to kind of keep that rosy tone, but to also start adding a little bit more depth. Now I'm using a more tapered brush and going into shade number 8, and I'm focusing this mostly on the outer corner of the eye, and then when I have a little bit of product left, I'll drag it slightly through the crease. Again, I'm just kind of working on adding the depth to this look. Now I'm using my finger in shade number 5 just to kind of pat this on the outer half of the lid. This is a slightly shimmery shade, so I just felt like using my finger would be easier than wetting a brush. Now I am going ahead and wetting a flat brush and using this on the lightest shimmery shade. This is shade number 2, and I'm just putting this all over the inner half of the lid. And I also decided to go ahead and put this on the inner corner of the eye as well. Now for the brow bone, I'm using shade number 1 just on a fluffy flat brush just to highlight a little bit. Now I'm taking a flat fluffy brush going back into shade number 6, and I'm using this to just kind of smoke out the lower lash line just to add a nice diffused mauve color. And for a little bit of depth, I'm going into shade number 8 on a pencil brush and focusing this on the outer corner of the lower lash line. Now I'm just curling my lashes and adding a couple coats of mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. I definitely wanted to keep this look a bit lighter, so I decided to do no liner, just mascara on the top and bottom. And I am using my Tarte Gifted mascara for the lower lash line. For lips, I'm using the Fenty Gloss Bomb. This is just a perfect kind of your lips but better, nice shiny lip gloss. All right guys, so this is the finished light side look. It's just very soft. I pretty much used almost every single color in this palette. They all blended together really nicely. They are very soft shadows in terms of, they're very soft shades. That's kind of, I guess, what I'm getting at. As you can tell, I did blend a whole bunch of colors together, but you don't notice much of a difference. I mean, it did help build some of the depth, but I think they could have easily maybe done a bit of a different color variety in here. They are so similar that it doesn't really make much of a difference that there's so many different kind of pinky rosy tones in here, but I do like the palette for just a soft everyday look. I'm very happy with this look. It's just very, again, soft and lovely and light. So now let's get into the dark side palette. This is the one I'm really looking forward to because I feel like this has a bit more color options in it. There's still some similar tones in there though, but we'll see what I can do with this palette now. For this look, I'm starting out with a fluffy brush into shade number 2, and I'm working this all through the crease. I did already put on some primer and I set it with a translucent setting powder, so I didn't need to go in with a lighter color this time. Now for a different tone, I'm going into shade number 3 just to kind of add a little bit of like a deep rosiness to this crease, and I'm bringing it a little bit up onto the brow bone as well. Now trying to decide which color, and I decided to go with shade number 7. This is just kind of a nice cool toned purple shade, and I'm just running this all through the crease and onto the outer corner. And then I decided to go ahead and bring that color all the way across the lid. I'm not trying to pack it on as dark, but I am trying to get that purple color on my lid. Now I'm going into shade number 5 and focusing this on the outer corner just to kind of darken it up and add more of that cool toned purple. Now I'm taking a tapered brush and going into shade number 8, and I'm focusing this right on the outer corner. I'm just making sort of a V shape and then blending it out just to add some depth. This color, even though it looks like a dark gray, comes off really, really light, so you can build it. And now I'm using the first shade in the palette on a wet flat brush. This is kind of one of the lighter shimmery shades. It's the lightest one they have, and I'm just placing this on the inner portion of the eye. And now for the lower lash line, I'm using shade number 8, that kind of dark gray color, on a flat, dry brush, and just using this to line the lower lash line. Then to smoke that out, I'm using shade number 7 on a pencil brush and just running that all underneath that black shade and kind of making sure they really merge together. And I decided to go ahead and pop that first shade on the inner corner, but it really is not a bright enough or light enough shade. It doesn't really do much. Now for this look, I definitely wanted some nice bold liner, so I'm just using my Tarte's double-ended liner to do a nice black wing. And then I went ahead and used the other end to just line the lower lash line and the waterline. And I am going ahead and doing another coat of the L'Oreal mascara. Even though I kind of didn't take it off completely when I removed the first look, it still needed a little bit of touching up. For lips, I wanted to use the Storybook Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade Romance. On my skin tone, it kind of comes off more of a grayish mauve color, so I felt like it looked really good with this eye look. Alright guys, so this is the finished look using the Dark Side palette. I will say I like both looks. This one basically was the exact same as the other palette in terms of the shadows just being very light. So again, I used almost all the colors. I didn't use quite as many as I used with the other palette, but I did use a good bit of these, and it did build a little bit of depth, but overall I think they could have added, you know, maybe some other shimmer shades. There's really only this one shimmer shade. Maybe they could have had like a purple shimmer or something, or even a black with shimmer. Even this black is, I mean, you can kind of tell just by seeing right there, it's more of like a dark gray than it is a black. These are very beautiful shadows. I mean, this look is very pretty and it's very soft, but I don't really think that both of these are necessary. I think if anything, if you're gonna buy these, it's probably because you're a Star Wars fan and you just wanna have these in your collection. I wouldn't necessarily be buying these because of the shadows. If you were, then I would just say go with which one you would use more. I personally like the light side better. I would probably get more use out of that. I do kind of like this dark mauve-y kind of purple tone that I ended up with using the dark side of the palette. And so just like to give you kind of some quick details, I went ahead and pulled everything up on their website. So Cargo, you can buy it online, but you can also get it at Kohl's. You know, it's hit or miss if they have everything. You know, sometimes you're just better off going online. But these little palettes retail for $28 a piece. I mean, I personally feel like that's a little bit too high for at least the quality of the shadows, but because it is like an official collaboration with Star Wars, I mean, it kind of makes sense that the price is a little higher. The other things they had in the collection, so remember I was mentioning I knew they had some mirrors, so they have like some really cute mirrors. Let's see, focus. There's Rey and Leia and BB-8, and so it's just a mirror. It's a compact, that's all it is. Those are $28. The other thing they had in the collection, they have two different kind of mascaras. They have the First Order mascara, which is volumizing, and the Resistance mascara, which is lengthening. The mascaras are $20. I personally chose not to get the mascaras when I made my order just because I love my drugstore mascara and I really don't want to pay $20 to find that I don't like this, and that's just me. I'm very picky about mascara. The other thing they have in the set, which I don't think they had when I bought this online originally, but they have a nail polish set. Focus. So that looks kind of cute, kind of like a gold, blue, red, and maybe a white or a sparkly, I'm not sure. That's $22 though. So those are all the details. You know, like I said, if you have a Kohl's near you, maybe I would recommend going to the Kohl's so that you can swatch them because they usually have a tester. I personally would recommend, again, like I said, the light side palette. I just feel like that's more usable and wearable, but if you're like me and you're a Star Wars fan, then I definitely think they're worth picking up as a fun collector's piece, and definitely maybe grab one of the mirrors too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and two different looks, not technically using two palettes, but two looks, one collection. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and thank you for watching. Bye guys.